Hey Pooter, this is Daniel here with the PHS News, here to remind you that Kaleidoscope is due by tomorrow. So, if you want anything inside Kaleidoscope, remember to fill out the form.
Hi Pooter, for the end of Black History Month, we want to tell you about our Caribbean islands. Yippee!
Hi Pooter, it's Shoshana. My island is Anguilla. The history of Anguilla began over 4,000 years ago. Anguilla was a luscious island covered in dense rainforest. It was discovered by Native Americans, people who came by dugout canoes and rafts from the South American mainland. Evidence of these Native Americans as old as 30,000 years ago has been found on the outer eastern end of Anguilla. Shell axis area has been discovered on Anguilla. Christopher Columbus sailed to Anguilla in 1493, but never landed. During this time, Europeans changed the island's name, Manuhowana, to Anguilla, while the 1813s brought the union of St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla on British recommended. A union protested of the measure of Anguilla's freedom holders. Anguilla was allowed one freedom holder representative to the House of Assembly on the island. The Federal of the West Indies. The Federal collapsed in 1962, which resulted in individual constructions for most islands. St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla was made associated statehood, a political decision that sparked the Anguilla Revolution. Anguilla wanted its independence from the state, and from the proposal, union was not a viable option for the island. Murmurs of repulsion of the Royal St. Kitts Nevis Airport from the island. Debates over Anguilla's success continued to be negotiated for another decade. November 18, 1980. Anguilla became its separate independent territory with some measurements of authority in government.
Hello Pooter, I'm Kyle and my island is Jamaica. The history of Jamaica is a story of resilience, courage, and unyielding fight for freedom. Over the past 500 years, Jamaica has endured conquest, slavery, and rebellion, but through it all, it has managed to both survive and thrive. The first Jamaicans, the Taino people, arrived from South America around 600 AD. They called the island Jamaica, meaning land of wood and water, and thrived on the island for centuries. But with the arrival of the Spanish in 1494, their civilization was devastated by slavery, disease, and war. In 1510, the Spanish established settlements bringing enslaved Africans to work their plantations, but Jamaica remained on the fringes of their empire, valued more as a supply post than an actual colony. That changed in 1655 when the British seized Jamaica. They turned the island into a strategic base, attracting pirates and privateers like Sir Henry Morgan. Port Royal became infamous as the wickedest city in the world until it was swallowed by a hurricane in 1692, sinking the entire city underwater. Throughout this upheaval, enslaved Africans resisted. The Maroons, descended from those who escaped Spanish plantations, waged fierce guerrilla warfare against the British. The defiance won them independence in 1739, making them a symbol of freedom that endures today. Meanwhile, the transatlantic slave trade turned Jamaica into Britain's most profitable colony. Sugar plantations fueled the empire's wealth, but at a horrific cost. Enslaved Americans faced brutal conditions with an average life expectancy of just 7 years. But resistance never ceased. Slave revolts erupted and abolitionist movements grew. Finally, in 1838, after centuries of suffering, slavery was abolished. With the collapse of the plantation economy, indentured laborers from India, China, and the Middle East arrived, bringing their own cultures and traditions, shaping Jamaica into the multicultural society it is today. By the 20th century, demands for self-rule grew louder. Through political struggle and perseverance, Jamaica gained independence on August 6, 1962, emerging as a proud nation, ready to forge its own destiny. Jamaica's history is one of resilience, of a people who refused to be broken. From Tianos to today, their spirits endured, shaping a nation that continued to inspire the world.
Hello Pooter, winter sports have been going on and we have many successful Impalas. First we have the Pooter swim and dive team. They made it to state with 5 state swimmers. Then there is the boys and girls wrestling with 12 state qualifiers and both Mariah Gonzalez and Billy Greenwood being state champs. Honorable mentions are TSA. They won many medals at conference.
Sing it.
Go Pooter!